Journey to making a metaverse series, which is actually a new series that we are dropping in honor of a short metaverse series that we are coming together to create, which you guys probably have heard of by now because we've been talking about it nonstop, which is called Journey to Mo Life, which is with the people that you see now here on the stage, which you see Kush Nubia, Latisse Brown, and Science. And they, along with also Queen Hazel, were in our pilot episode of Journey to Mo Life, which aired during the Cohort 3 XR Film Festival, which was a really great experience. And now we are ready to continue on this journey because we've got a bunch of ideas that we're just ready to execute on. So I'm very excited to actually kick off this review series where we actually take a moment to come and talk behind the scenes. And one of the things I'm really grateful for with this team so far has been how much they want to help this series grow. And we really come together and share ideas, and we were going to film yesterday to keep going with our the series and pushing to episode 2 and really rolling out, but we said, you know what, this is really something special, and we want our product to show that as well. So we've slowed it down a bit, and we're going to take you guys on an entire journey as we're making this series to show you behind the scenes. So stay tuned, where every other week we'll come together and show you, the nitty gritty of what it takes to make content in the metaverse, and editing it and filming it, and how we're co-creating. And we want to have continued, panelists where you guys see we're just in our space here. I see Day One is in here. That's awesome. That's what I'm saying, where people are just able to come and kick it with us. We just want to have a space where we can come, hang out, learn from each other. I see Monica Jones popped in. That's dope. You guys see Mecca's over there in the bar, so feel free to get a drink, get comfortable, and we're gonna get into it. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'm up here with the cast, so I would love for everyone just to start by introducing yourself that's up here today. So we'll start with Science, and then we'll go to Latisse, then Kush Nubia, and then we'll end with the HighCoon, aka the Spatialgineers, who are our special guests this episode. So Science, I would love for you to take it away and introduce yourself.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Science, and I am playing the role of Love Jones. It's so great to see everyone here tonight.
Ooh. And Science, what do you do IRL a bit that kind of got you into wanting to do voice acting in the metaverse? If you want to just tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I actually have a theater background. I did a lot of music theater in my 20s. And that kind of turned into doing live band performances for wedding bands, and then my own personal band eventually. But right now I am an independent artist working on my own music and performing my own music. But I also do personal styling and stuff like that. That kind of goes along with my brand. But specifically what drew me to the production was Queen Hazel. She kind of told me about the role, and I instantly was interested, especially when it came to Web3 and all the really cool things that this production has in store for everyone. So
I'm telling you, they don't even know what we got in store yet, so I'm very excited about that as well. And excited to have you a part. So thank you for that, everyone. Y'all see it. Take a look, everyone here. Again, thanks for everyone for being here. And then we'll keep it moving over to Latisse. Please introduce yourself. Looking all good. Love the pink hair. I'm telling y'all know it. Latisse come out. She step out right.
Hi, everyone. My name is Latisse Brown. I am from San Francisco, California. I'm a photographer, filmmaker, and I also started hosting film showcase events in Spatial featuring Black women filmmakers and photographers. And I play Monica Jones.
Dope. I love it. And I will say, guys, one of my favorite parts about this cohort was casting. It was one of those things I definitely learned, because if you guys hear, I always say, we've been making a lot of different shows here in Spatial where we've just do them live, right? Like I'm doing right now, where we just come, host an event, and then we stream it live, literally like we are now on YouTube, Twitter. Shout out to anybody watching right now. Drop your thoughts in the comments. But I wanted to actually know how to make a real production, and casting was so awesome. And Latisse, for when she auditioned, she actually sent me a monologue of her doing fences, and I would never forget that, Latisse. I thought it was super dope. I was super honored that you took the time and created that and put that into it, and I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. And you've definitely been one of those, like I always say, like rocks that remind me, like, hey, when you say you want to do this for real, this is what it takes to do it for real. And I definitely appreciate you for being a part of that. So shout out to you. We'll keep it rocking on over to Kush Nubia so you can introduce yourself to everyone.
Hey everyone, I'm Kush Nubia. I play Angela. Nice to be here and get to chop it up with everyone. A bit about myself, in real life, I'm a DJ, music producer, and digital artist. So I do hold spaces here, I do have some galleries on here, and like I do a lot of documentary showings for music on Thursday nights. So yeah.
Yes, those are so dope. When he calls them dope docs, I always love writing out the whole name of it. I'm like, guys, they're really dope documentaries. Like, if you like watching dope documentaries, this is the space that you want to go to Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And they're all like music history that you didn't know about people, and it's just always really good substance and content. And the NFT projects that he's a part of, the music that he creates, it all is along that like substance and culture and authentic culture, and like you just see all that and feel all that. So definitely appreciate that you poured that into bringing the music alive here. As you guys can see, that's one of our anchors within the series. So definitely stay tuned and know that, shout out to Kush whenever you hear some vibes coming from the series. And also Zepeto, y'all don't know, but y'all looking at a Zepeto influence over here on the up and coming. So stay tuned. We got some stuff at the end of the episode we'll start talking about, but definitely a lot in store. Before we get into all of that, I want to just give a moment to say hello to HighCoon, who is in the house. And y'all, how many of y'all have played that game yet? Okay, the Journey to Your Heritage. Come on, clap it up if you played the game. And I'm telling you, when you get to the end and you bring Mojo back to life, I'm telling you guys did it. And it was an honor to be able to have that, and for you guys to bring that vision to life. So I would love to start by you just introducing yourself, and then we'll get into your journey and you guys being a part of this series and all of that good stuff. So please introduce yourself.
Appreciate it. Right now this is Danny talking. So I'm Danny. We're the Spatialgineers. We're the creators of HighCoon, and we're also the developers of the Journey to Your Heritage game. So I'm partnered with Ricardo. Basically, in between ourselves, we are designer and builder. And we're all the way from Puerto Rico. And we're also Puerto Rico Spatial Guide. So that's something about us that maybe you didn't know. Appreciate the space always.
Okay, y'all hear that? We international with it, okay? And I love that. I love collaborating internationally, seeing people doing amazing things. HighCoon was one of those people that you see, you run into in one of the spaces, and you're like, hey, we're gonna connect and build, and then you connect and you just keep building ever since. And it's really dope. You guys have probably seen we have some workshops that we've done where they show you how to do customizing your avatar. They have their own project where you can actually get your own HighCoon that you see them wearing, and then a lot of the assets that come with it, which is actually how we got the lab that we used in our space. So just pivoting a bit to talk about that space, we'll start with the game again because we have the honor of having the HighCoon here. Let me back it up a bit and talk about this series in general, just for anybody who isn't aware. And welcome, Contra Dave. And so right now we're just talking about Journey to Mo Life episode 1. So this episode was all about figuring out who is what and what is happening. So you'll meet Angelo Jones, who's just turning 16. You know, his grandfather, Love Jones, who's played by Science, ends up leaving him a ledger. And he says, you know what? This has generational wealth, but you've got to go and unlock it. In order for you to do that, if you guys are familiar with ledgers, they have a key phrase for your password. And there's this thing in crypto where it's like you cannot lose your key phrase, because if you lose your key phrase, your crypto is gone forever. And so this is how we've also intertwined, educating people about this world of this digital realm within our series, because as you continue to see okay, well, what is the key phrase? Why are they looking for these different words? What is a ledger? It will all start to make sense by the end of the series. So the first episode, though, we get the first clue, and each episode we will be solving a clue to find this word. And so the clue is oh dang, of course I'm on the spot, so I can't even remember. Science, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Do you remember what the first clue was? What was it? There's a when there's a ocean in the motion, something about.
Oh my gosh, when the ocean's gosh.
I know, right? I can't think of it. It's something about the ocean and the motion, and we figure out though that we have to bring her back to life because her name is Motion Jones. And so you'll see in this series that Latisse, who's playing Monica, was adopted, right? So Monica, or Love Jones, and Mojo Jones, who are our old people in this series, actually were born in the 1950s. And so you'll see that by the 1990s, they were about to go do this big project to kind of help kick off or stop this digital revolution that you'll see is that they're living through, which is this series where the digital revolution is in full effect and nowadays. And so again, you'll see that we have to bring Mojo back to life. And so throughout this episode, they're trying to figure out how to bring Mojo back to life. You're unraveling the story that Monica was adopted from her mother, who was taken a prisoner from this mission gone wrong. And it's, again, so many different intricacies that I want you guys to go get into, but you got to watch the episode, okay? And so in it, again, you'll see you have to bring Mojo back to life, though. And so one of the things I really liked about, again, including the game, is how we got to add more details to the short series, because we really wanted it to be an immersive experience, right? I'm talking a lot right now, but that's because I've been wanting to say so much about this series, because it was 3 minutes of filming, maybe a 5-minute episode, and I'm there was so much more to say. And that's why I'm happy we even kind of have these episodes to really dive into it and make sure you guys get in what's really happening here, so that we could talk about it, right? Because there was a lot happening there. So the cool thing is, so when I came up with the game, it's okay, well, now in the show, you'll see when they're trying to bring Mojo back to life, they go to this lab where Monica works, and they try, but the lab blacks out. So then once the lab blacks out, then they end up in this submarine, which you'll find Monica got on her 16th birthday from Love Jones as well, right? So you'll see these reoccurring things that continue to pop up. And so they're oh, this submarine, though, is going to have all the electricity because it's water powered. And so they go there to try to bring her back again. And what they don't know is after they leave, the electricity in the lab comes back on. So there's this extra part in the story that we didn't reveal within that episode, but it's happening behind the scenes. And so the really cool thing about that is that, so the episode's happening and they went on to the submarine to go and try to bring her back to life. But now there's the game that says, hey, now you're back in the lab is open. Now you go try and actually make Mojo come back to life. And so I thought that was a really cool way to get people involved and into the story. And so I would love to hear what you guys thought about it, and about playing the game and bringing Mojo back to life. And welcome Dope Stilo and Poison Peso. Great to see you guys here. We're talking about my new Metaverse series, which features all of the amazing people up here on the stage. And it also has a game that you can play. So you can click the link up on the flyer to watch the episode. And then in the episode, there's a link for our game here in Spatial, which was created by the High Creators. So we're actually about to talk about the game right now because I want to see what you guys thought about playing it and going through the corners and learning more. And then after we hear from the cast and what they thought about the game and any viewers, then we'll kick it over to HighCoon and get some of their experience from actually creating the game for us. And so, cast, did you guys have anything that you thought about the game, seeing the game, playing it for the first time? I know I have been talking about it for a while, but what were your thoughts when you actually went and played it and was like, wow, this is what Mo was talking about?
Yeah, the space was awesome, first off. And yeah, all the design and detail, so definitely hats off to the HighCoon team.
Right?
And the game was really, pretty straightforward to play. I liked how you designed the pop-ups, make it easy to understand. And yeah, it was pretty straightforward to go through the corners, but I really liked how, again, with the designs, how Mojo, that was nice.
Yeah, I was, man, having Mojo come back at the end of that was like the icing on the cake. Like, dang, that was nice. That was cool. Definitely agree. Did anybody else have any thoughts when they first went and played the game, even from the audience or from the cast? If you guys haven't played the game, I'll pop up a portal and we'll go hop over at the end of this here.
I absolutely love seeing Mecca anywhere I go. Like, I really do love seeing her. And so when I first popped up and I saw her there, I was like, oh, look at Mecca, which, like, of course, let me. Well, I won't give it away for those who haven't played the game, but yeah, it was really exciting to even just walk into the space and see Mecca there. But to get to the end and to actually like see Motion Jones being brought back to life was like really, really cool to me. I think the space, like Kush said, it was really easy to navigate. I hope that we're going to make it a little harder going forward. But yeah, it was really, really cool to interact.
I love it. Yes, all of our diehard fans are like, make it harder. And I'm like, yes, this is what I want to hear. Like those people that are into it. And of course, there's some people that are like, what do I do? What do I do? And I'm like, walk to each corner. But I love how, people are willing to try it and interested in trying it. And I think that's also says a lot too. So definitely dope experience. Latisse or anybody in the crowd, did anybody else have anything they wanted to share about the space before we dive into HighCoon and their perspective of actually creating the space with us?
I would like to say that I am one of those people that didn't know how to play.
Oh, yes.
But it was easier to do on my computer, I will say. But I'm looking forward to seeing like how the games evolve.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, and I will say I appreciate that. You were one of the first people that tested it and helped me kind of figure out. I had to put up some extra signs, and I'm over here like texting everybody like, the game's ready, go test it. And now nobody's texting me back, and I'm just like waiting like, okay, I'm just gonna wait. And so you were one of the first to test it, so definitely appreciate that feedback. I'm over here like, what was confusing? What can I do to make it not confusing? I ended up adding an extra part in the directions, which was like actually telling people to go to each corner, which I think also made a difference by having, something as simple as that. Even like Science said, having Mecca, her voice in there. Again, getting people involved in what we are in and bring them into this universe. So I'm excited that people have gone in there. We've got a lot of views and likes from just our first event so far. And I think, with this time for us having these kind of events and just pushing this one right now, because if you guys don't know, like I just said, we have slowed down production where over these next 3 or 4 months, we would just be doing this podcast, which is a journey to creating a metaverse series where again we'll have panelists and talk about editing and filming and all the nitty gritty that we're doing, music and NFTs. If you guys seen last week with one of my cohort members from the Harlem Film House, we actually did an NFTs and film, where we all get together and just talk about these kind of things because it's important. And then come fall we'll actually premiere our entire series. So But before we get into all those new series, let's focus back on this one and dive into HighCoon and how you guys actually created this lab. And so, like I had told you guys in the beginning, this lab was actually a part of their own minting experience. So with HighCoon, not only have we had a few workshops, but Raw DAO that also has game night every Thursday. And so when we met with them, we were like, man, you guys have some awesome games, and we also love highlighting people in this space and, just participating and doing things that, can help uplift each other. And so we're like, why don't we actually just go play their games all together once a month? And so that's what we do at the end of every month. And what we learned was after that first time we did it, we actually got to mint their NFTs for free. And so once we minted them, it was like a reveal, which was really awesome. Again, a very immersive experience throughout the whole process. And then once we minted, it was like you actually had to go and be HighCoon for a day. And again, learn about HighCoon. And then in that process, there was this lab. And so when I was creating this series, I'm like, man, that lab that we were in would be so perfect for this scene that I'm creating right now. And I'm like, I've got to talk to HighCoon and see like how I can feature their lab in this show, especially because we wanted to feature, a bunch of creators within our show. Like I've told you guys, next episode 2, we're going to be in the Star Wars Simulator by Cyber Nerd Baby, and a whole, again, so many different creators that will be spotlighted throughout the series. But HighCoon is like one of those OGs to me that have been really shaking up this space since we've had Unity, and I really wanted to again showcase that, and again this immersive experience because they really get it. And so HighCoon, I would love to hear how you were able to take what you were able to do and hear my idea when I came to you and kind of start bringing it to life from your perspective.
Appreciate the space. So yeah, honestly, what was fun about this whole interaction, something like I do want to mention that right off the bat, Mo had access to that lab because Mo is a one-of-one holder of HighCoon, and basically having a HighCoon will allow you to own access to the metaverses that HighCoon is like within the NFT. So when Mo came to me, what was fun about it, like Mo was like, hey, how could we collaborate to basically bring this lab to our series? And I was like, this lab is already yours. Like, you have a one-of-one in your wallet, you basically have access to this lab, so you can basically do whatever you want in here on the template, and then you can like we can talk about gamifying. So what was fun about this was that we didn't actually have to build anything for the game itself. We already had it built, so we basically went over and gamified the game, the environment. So with that in mind, we basically took the gamified experience we already had for minting and did something similar, but in this case, we actually added a couple features with the UI. So every time you see an image pop up, like with the text and everything, there is actually UI elements that are integrated into the experience. So that way, it's not like you're trying to read something through the camera. It's actually popping up in your phone, and it actually looks like it's something that you can read. So that way, you can actually look and go through the space and learn what Mo has you wants you to learn from the story, so you can accomplish your task. So it was actually very fun to see how we can put it together, because you actually sent us. I do want to say that you understood the assignment, and that is very hard for people right now in the space. When I told you I need a script, I need all the information, I need step by step, I need all the different cues and everything. I do want to express to everyone here that Mo actually went over what I expected, and she actually sent me a scripted thing, with highlights in red, with different comments and all. She actually sent me all the images in order with their text, with their information. So it was a very easy process for us because you understood the assignment. So I told you that we had a lot of things going on. We were crazy launching a couple things. Actually, before getting into this space, we launched a new game for HighCoon. So we've been going crazy with a lot of builds. So you made it very easy for us to integrate everything you had into this space. So for me, it's just like we're glad that we could help, because you being a HighCoon holder, we want to enable that kind of power onto you, like for you to use those environments and make the most out of them. So basically, the collaborative aspect here was the game, and the game was something very, as people are saying, it was very easy to play because it was very easy to do. But this is a stepping stone that basically like showcases how far you can go in a very simple game, but then how far you can take it using those same integrations. So we are happy to know that people actually like the game. There's a lot of likes and views in the game. So we do appreciate everyone that went through, and we hope that you're enjoying it. It is a very simple experience, but it adds a lot of I would say intensity to the story when you go to the end and you see what happens. And I'm not gonna like ruin it for anyone, but like you need to stay up to the end and keep on looking at that corner, because that's when you see what happens. And adding those kind of elements, it was kind of fun because Ricardo, my partner, came up with the generative shader. He came up with it like a couple days before, so we can integrate it to HighCoon. So then when you came up to us and you were like, "Hey, I want to do this with the avatar," like it was perfect. Like we already had it ready for you, so it just all connected. So we do appreciate lives, and we appreciate you reaching out. And it's an honor for us, like for HighCoon to be featured already in a series, and he's already he's still growing. So let's go.
I know we're gonna have to have him actually have an acting role, like be featured in in the lab later in this series, like pop up as like one of the mad scientists.
And actually, we created some mad scientist goggles recently for everybody to get doing. So we're ready for that as well.
I'm ready for it. Y'all hear it, and that's why we here, because we still building, still thinking, still creating. That's why we like, nah, we gotta get this right, because the ideas that we come up with, like you said, they're next level, and we get it. You know, this is where things are heading. This is where series are heading, and games are heading, and NFTs. You know, we're like, we got all of that. This is how, you know, this is an NFT collection backed by a series. This is a series backed by NFTs. This is, you know, co-creating with NFTs and being able to do a lot of different things in better ways. Like HighCoon said, you know, I was a holder of his NFT and was able to use that space. So, you know, when I went to him saying, hey, HighCoon, how can I use your space? They had already had that, you know, avenue set up. And luckily, because, you know, I'm just a naturally supportive person, I had the ability to just, you know, continue to do what we had been doing. And if I hadn't, then, you know, I would have known, well, I got to go play their games, or they're always having giveaways. So make sure you follow them on Twitter, because if you don't have a HighCoon, they are always having giveaways until they are fully minted out, which is going to be here really soon. So make sure you have your HighCoon if
we
you don't
actually
yet.
minted out already.
Oh, you did? Dang. See, that's what I'm saying. So I'm telling y'all.
So yeah, they're already selling on the secondary for the first 0.01
Okay.
and like you can get in early right now. So yeah, we actually went it out, so it's going well for us. Appreciate it.
That is dope. Well, you guys hear it, and they're still for the low, I think, and still a great value, because you guys seen that lab, and it came with not only that, but a lot more in it. He's like, everything in this picture is, you know, you get something, because you get the whole outfit and the accessories, and they have their own game. They actually have their own game that they just launched that had cars and stuff. So did you want to talk more about some of the things that HighCoon has brewing in store with your own games? Because I think that also, when you talk about like the possibilities, the things that you guys are doing, like I said, you guys always come and start like busting down doors. As soon as they be like, here's what you can do, y'all be like, all right, well, here's what we are about to do, and then go do it great.
We're actually trying to buzz down every door we can. Like, and it was funny because we actually told Gia this when we met her, like Gia from marketing and spatial, like we actually told her, like, since we started in spatial, we wanted to break it. And it's not in the bad sense, like we want to take it to the furthest limits, and we want to test it as much as we can. So right now, our most recent experience has everything that you can integrate in spatial. So right now, being spatial guides has allowed us to get into the beta aspect of spatial. So right now we have access to in-game currency, we have our shop, we have items, we have cars, we have music, we have UI like a user interface with a lot of different buttons to control everything. We have backpack. We basically have everything set up right now in a game where once you go in, you can complete a quest, you can win some currency, you can buy some items, you can use them in that game, and then also you can like collect different things within that game as we keep evolving it. And those same assets are going to be usable within the different games that we create. So eventually, you might be able to use something you collect in this game in like a game we create a year from now, for example, because like those all the games are like usable in between worlds. So right now, it's been a very fun time building. Right now, that game is a decision-making game in which once you go in, you need to answer you need to bypass the security system that HighCoon is like trying to hack by answering the correct terpene for a situation. So this is our way to showcase how to solve a situation using a terpene and then like in a game. So that way you can learn a little bit about terpenes and you can continue to learn about HighCoon's story within the metaverse. So yeah, if you are down for it, we can definitely hop on in there later tonight or tomorrow or during next week or when we do our game night. But I appreciate this space always. We look forward to just like vibing and chilling with everyone. Appreciate it.
Yes, our game night is next Thursday, so that's the space we're gonna have to go because I'm ready, man. It was so funny. I usually order my fun weed from the dispensary, and I was over here like, man, I need to get better at remembering the terpenes and what they supposed to be for in these kind of moments. So I'm ready for that like applied knowledge so I can pull it and reference easier with those decision making. So I think that's super dope.
Yeah.
And
we're actually gonna have 3 stages for this game. So the easy route is gonna be the one that opened.
Mm-hmm.
Next week we're gonna launch the medium, and the last week we're launching the hard route, and it's gonna be like each time is gonna be more complicated questions and more questions to answer, and then same amount of lives to go through. So it's gonna be harder. But yeah,
it's dope. And you guys heard them. They're trying everything that they can. You know, you guys just seen that the shop thing just popped up in Spatial today, and the coins, and you know the in-game currency, and there's just a lot that you can do. And one thing that I would say about HighCoon, when they say I understood the assignment, I can say they did too when they came into like a platform like the metaverse, understanding community, education, incentivizing community. So it's like it's great when I see other builders like this that have already been like laying down these bricks and now have even more tools to like empower and create with. So I'm super excited to just continue to see what we're all able to create together. Y'all know this is just the beginning. This was just the pilot episode, okay? And y'all hear we got a lot more in store that we're going to be doing over this course. And so I would love to just pause and see if anybody had any other thoughts or questions that they even just wanted to share about the series. I see one of my cohort members, Day One, is in the house. Shout out to him. If you guys seen the series I have been playing all throughout the Harlem Film House this weekend, you guys know every single project was crazy, like crazy, and you can still watch it right now on myfreshtv.com. Okay, I know you guys been seeing me share about it, but if you ain't gone and clicked it and done nothing about it, I'm telling you, you have to, because everything that people were creating and thinking and again using these tools with to go and create metaverse series with was just mind-blowing. So I guess I'll pause there and say, Day One, I would love to sit down and kick it with you for a second and see how you feeling about this after series, and how you guys are doing with where you're at just now that the series is over, and what you're kind of going to do from here.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Oh, cool. Yo, Mo, I just got to give you mad props on your whole playbook and how you extended just the opportunity that we had in cohort 3, but you extended it to your marketing and how it plays to the metaverse. This is awesome. I was so mad. I just can't help but I just sit there like, wow, she's really doing something really awesome. I really truly enjoy the conversation about the NFTs and how you're expanding your deal into the world. And I'm like so just wrapped into what you guys are doing. I'm like, man, I'm about 3 steps behind on what's happening, and I really want to get down with y'all and understand, the piece parts. I'm an old school head, and back. I understand about the conversation wrapped around blockchain and how to challenge, how to tie that to ownership. And I love how you're playing it out. This is awesome. I want to get with you guys and understand how you're doing this gamification, because I'm just blown away. I'm sitting there going, oh shit, this is awesome. So Mo, mad love to you there, mad love. And I would love to try to take what you're doing and try to put into my series also, because this makes too much sense and it's a really awesome thing. So mad love. I'm doing IRL clapping.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate, because that's what we're all doing. We in these spaces and we see where it's headed, and we have to teach each other. We all learning from each other. And one of the biggest blessings is that, we're surrounded by people that are all about educating. One of the things I mentioned is I'm learning myself, right? So I'm learning from HighCoon, and I know we had one series that was showing us how to customize, and they like, look, we're gonna be trying this part right now ourselves, and then if it worked, then we know it worked. But we're willing to try it together to see if we can do it, and at that same time showing us how they're trying it and how they're doing it important, so that we can now go build. Because I think we all realize when all of us are building amazing things, then we're all creating better content for the world. And we're all strengthening our mission together. So I'm definitely down for it, and that's what we're about to be doing over the next, like I said, 3 to 4 months. Like the space, because every other week we're going to be right here talking just about this, how we can create content in the metaverse. I think, like we said, it's a powerful topic, and there's so many different facets about it. So many different things that we're all experiencing as we're going through it, and we're going to keep trying to bring different people in the space to talk about that experience, share their tools, share what they learned, and try to learn from each other from that.
Yeah, I fully agree. This crazy day I was in a training class, and for my IRL business, and one of the things that the previous conversation was wrapped around disruptors, which were folks who would bring new technology into stand up businesses, and they would call them disruptors. But now the conversation is it's not disruptors who change the business. These are innovators.
I'm telling you.
So this is what it is, innovation. We're changing the game, and not just being, somebody who does something that causes the other people to be better, but we're innovators who are being considered in our role as same and equal as the big companies. Because this is real, and this is solid, and this is something that's got to be reckoned with. Between this and AI, this is real stuff, and these are real folks who are innovating in the business world. And here we are. This is us doing.
And what's crazy? I always tell people about that disruptor, because people always see what we're doing, and that's the first thing they want to do. Like, oh, you guys are disruptors, and I cannot stand it, because who I used to get in trouble when somebody used to call my house, call me a disruption. I'm not trying to be no disruptor, nothing, okay? You feel me? So I'm like, shoot.
And organizations are realizing it's not disruptors anymore. We're innovators.
And the thing is, we're not even really innovating. We're using the tools that the people running this is putting out here and saying go use. We see the playbook. We're using the tools as they're supposed to be tools, and that's why we're innovators, because we're aware of that. And yes, we can come in here and play. That's amazing, but we also believe in the digital assets that we're building, and trying to learn and value that education in itself, that experience in itself. That's like anytime I'm in the metaverse, 9 times out of 10 my camera's live and we recording it, and I'm like, somebody's gonna watch this 2 years from now, and I promise you my video streams be going up because people be going and watching them years from now. Okay, so it's like we know that we put in work that's going to be lasting us over the next 10, 20, 50 years, so it's all of value, and it all matters, and we doing what we can right now, and I think it's I ain't no financial advisor, but I believe in my investments, and even if it's just again education, like you said, we're learning the things that these old businesses are learning. So if we're learning them and they learning them, then when the new businesses is we right up there too, with our business that's competitive now with all these tools.
Yeah, we're providing use cases for the platform.
Definitely.
That's the thing. I mean, you can build anything you want, but unless they have an opportunity to sell it, then it doesn't work. And we're providing use cases. That's where the money's at. You can't sell a rock, but if you can sell a useful rock, then it's gonna sell.
I'm telling you, and that be the main thing we have to tell people, them utilities, because that's what people are realizing. The dollar didn't have no value. It had value and people valued it. It's the energy that it takes to get a dollar, and the energy that that it takes. If you're gonna give somebody $1 million, you gotta think about how many lives that affects for you to get that, and how now you about to affect that with that money. And I think again people are realizing that energy is so much more valuable than what they once thought it was. And I think that's also the beautiful part about this digital world, right? It's like everything you thought ain't always what you thought it was, when you can create a lot more now. And I don't think people realize that they could create in a sense like this. And I think that's like one of these things that people just wasn't ready for. And so speaking of creators, I would love, just while we have you here, for you to just touch on your series that you dropped in the cohort, and like your own experience, and kind of maybe where you feel like you're going to be headed next from here.
Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's a plug all out the world. So let me tell you, my series was called The Transporters, and it was really wrapped around a series. I'm a sci-fi head, and so I was like, wait a minute, it's time for us to get back in outer space. It's time for us to have that vision, and a new vision of outer space. As you see, all of these companies, you got, the Blues and all those folks that are launching in outer space. But it's time for us to get in outer space and tell our story. And I just wanted to put a story about us being in outer space, because we kind of been wrapped around the sitting here and doing reality TV. Let's get back to outer space. Let's get back to our imagination. Let's get back to understanding how we can be greater than we were today, tomorrow. Let's expand our horizons. And that's where I was trying to go with this. And so, I mean, as I develop my series, I want people to see that, hey, everybody can go back to outer space. I'm a big time Star Trek fan. I'm a big time Star Wars fan. But if you look at all of those series, what those series did was allow you to understand the human diaspora locally and in a different setting, because everything you saw in all those series was about how you act within your own environment, but just was somewhere different, so that you can kind of get in and say, okay, maybe yeah, this is right, this is wrong, and this is how we act with each other. So I want to build that out, and then put that super sci-fi on it to make it more palatable, so that we can be better towards each other and understand our own experiences. So that's where that's at. I'm going back into production because one of my big things was AI. I've got some new tools that are about to rip it out. So if you saw my visions on during the film festival, and you saw that photorealistic reality, I'm really about to step it up. You can be like, holy cow, that looks so daggone real. That's my thing. I want to take that tech and show how we as independent producers, small boutique shops, individuals, and do content and share content, share our story, just as real as the bigs can. Right now they're looking for content, and so we gotta, my concept is I want to make it photorealistic and so real that it bridges the gap, because we have the gap that most folks don't get. If you're not tapped into the metaverse, then you don't feel it.
Yeah.
And so what we got to do is bridge the gap between IRL and the metaverse.
Man.
And so my goal is trying to toss that and make that happen, so that we can make this metaverse really pop off, because the metaverse is off the chain.
Okay. And I'm telling you, Day One, you killed it. Everybody, give it. How many of y'all seen Day One video and was like, how did he do that? What was I just watching? I'm telling you, every time somebody would go and watch it, they'd be like, what software did that do with the AI use? What's going on in that video? And I'm like, listen, okay, it was a lot that went into it. I'm like, I can't even break it down, because it was a lot that you really poured into that. And I think, like you said, the way you attacked it, I know my 16-year-old brother actually watched the series, and he talked about those gaps, the avatars and their subtle movement and the choppiness. And I'm like, but it's just like a regular cartoon. And he's like, no, it's a metaverse cartoon. And I'm like, it's the same thing. And he's like, no, it's not. And so there is definitely a gap. And I think the work that you're doing, which is amazing, taking people, like you said, back to nostalgia of being able to get outer space and, that passion for it, and being able to rally and, take that trip with you and travel, throughout that experience. I'm super excited to hear you're going to continue producing it. And I know you did that like all on your own. So what is your timeline looking like? What are you looking like for producing?
So I've taken this week off because the last 11 weeks was raw. It was really raw, and I loved it so much. It was really tough. So I've taken a couple of days off. I'm jumping back in. So what I'm going to do is I'm reshooting the first series, the first episode, with some totally new tech that's going to be totally mind blowing. And then I'm going back into the writing lab to start the second episode. So potentially, I hope that probably within the next 3 months or so before the end of the year, let's say, I can do the first episode reshoot, and then also produce a second one. I think in my mind I could potentially do an episode maybe in 3 months. But I also, and here's the other side of the coin I want to share with everybody, is that I did it by myself, and I don't want to do it by myself. That was a struggle. I don't want to do that. I want to create an opportunity where I have a bunch of folks who I can work with, and we can collaborate and make this thing happen, because I think that's the best way to do it. I mean, there's no way I can do this by myself. I'm not going to attempt it. What I want to do, and my backside is that, hey, I'm a newbie to the metaverse, and I need to meet folks and talk with folks and share my experience, and also hopefully bring people in who have confidence in what I'm trying to do, so that we can make things happen.
Well, we are right
Uh,
there
uh, uh,
with you, man. We literally right there with you on pause, on taking the next 3 months, refilm the first one with so much technology that we done found to help make things already smoother. And like you said, really make these projects, really give that vision and that impact, like how we think. And I think, that we're all looking at it at the right way. Like I said, we're going to be getting together every other week. So, we're going to be right here with you. Please come back, and we definitely want to be a part of that journey with you, because I'm down definitely to learn from each other, continue to grow. I see all the comments in the chat. Team effort from the T's. Tiny said, excited to see both of your projects develop. Yes, Science says, day one, it's already looked awesome. Can't wait to see it elevate, right? Like, man, it could get even better day one. I didn't even know. I thought you was already doing something. And you like, nah, I found something even better. Like, okay.
Mad love. Mad love. I appreciate everybody. And like I said, I want us to do something grand.
Oh, we
I can't do it by myself, and I believe that all the people here with all that great knowledge, we can put some stuff together and make a bunch of things happen for all of us, and make our vision be great.
Okay, y'all heard it, and y'all all listening are a part of this journey as well. Each of you on the stage, you guys see, we're coming together, we're having a conversation, because that's all it starts with, is talking about this, and then creating that plan of action and going to execute. If you guys know me, usually by the end of the conversation, I'm like, okay, so what are we about to go do next? So that everybody knows what we about to go do next, and we can come back together like, all right, now we on to the next step. Because we all know we're going to keep pushing, and that's what I love to hear from not only our our series, but even my fellow cohorts, that they're still pushing as well. And like we've all been saying, we're going to continue to do this together, and that's what this first episode was all about, trying to get their whole family together again, introducing each character, how they're all connected to it. And that's why I had to show you guys again how we all impact each other's journey as well in this first little episode review. So before we wrap this up, did anybody else have any thoughts, questions, or concerns that you guys wanted to touch on or talk about this episode? Because we're kicking it. I'm going to play some music after we all head out. But I would love to open the floor if anybody wanted to talk about anything from this series, any sneak peeks, any questions, anything at all. No?
I just wanted to say that I value and I honor everyone in here, and I truly appreciate you guys. There's a lot that I have been through that's gotten me to this point, and it's been hard to encourage myself and also be encouraged by other people to create something so dope. And I'm really, really grateful to be working with and to continue working with such great people. And thank you, Mom.
I love it. I love the feels. You guys know me. I'm always going to sprinkle in the feels. Like, I just love y'all real quick. So I love it. Appreciate it. And I definitely feel that too, and I think that's a great synergy that we all feel every time we get together. Like, ooh, we're just about to create something so great and magical. And we just feel it. And, that's how we know it's about to even, it's when we create our finished product, it's just going to blow our minds. So I love that. I love having everybody a part of that and pouring into that, because that's what you can see in all of our products as well, is that everybody is definitely pouring that energy into it as well, even from HighCoon to the space, to each person in their voice, to each person in the content that we put on social media. Again, we are really strategizing how we can connect with people, because that's our goal here, is connecting with the community. So when we say we are thankful for you guys for being here, or for listening, or for watching, we really, really mean that. Because like Day One said, I could have done it on my own. I got AI that was Mecca. I seen how you can use the avatars and run around yourself and have all the voices. But it's different when you do it with people. There really is magic that happens when people start sharing ideas and you start creating something that you wouldn't even thought of when you started. And so I'm just super excited to see all that we continue to build together. You guys heard all that HighCoon has in store. You guys heard, most importantly, we will be playing their game next Thursday for Raw Game Night. So make sure you have followed us on P2D_Raw Network or at Mo Life Universe so that you guys see all of those details, so you can come be a part of the HighCoon experience. And I seen Science that he was about to cop one, because I'm telling you guys, you definitely want to have it. I seen Tiny as a baby well over there with a few. You've heard Day One has his series that's going to be brewing, and I told you guys we're going to be back. So our next episode, let me look at my calendar right here real quick. Our next episode is going to be July 12th. So July 12th and July 26th. And I have created an official outline that we'll be covering, so you guys can see again the different topics that we'll be covering. They're going to be very general, again, very like panelists. So if you want to be a part and share what you know, let us know, because we want to create a space for everybody to come kick it in the metaverse, open up the floor, and talk about how we're creating content to help the metaverse as a whole elevate. Get people really taking us serious and coming in here, right? We got the tools, we in the right spot, we just waiting on everybody else at this point. So on that note, I appreciate everybody for coming and kicking it with us today. Like I said, we'll be back, so make sure you set your reminders, follow us, and stay tuned for more. Peace.
Right on, Mo. Peace. Mad love, yeah. Mad love.